Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue watching Darcey and Stacey. I think this might be the last episode, so let's get to it. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and I'm also a professor. And as always, do not use this YouTube channel as a replacement for therapy. If you need a therapist, get a therapist. You deserve it. Good therapists are out there. It's just a matter of finding the right match for you. And let's get to the show and see if anything of interest comes out of my face.
A few days ago, Georgie posted a picture on his social media, and someone made a comment. It was a woman, and it was a fire emoji. And I asked who this woman was. He said it was an ex-girlfriend from the past. But he did say that he spoke to her about a year ago. And Georgie and I met about a year ago.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with being jealous. There's nothing wrong with being insecure. There's nothing wrong with wondering, I wonder if this guy actually loves me the way that I hope he loves me and the way that he says he loves me. As I always say, there's something self-destructive about taking that insecurity and that fear, transforming it into anger and accusations and hurting someone and pushing them away from you, causing what you are worried about happening, which is distance in the relationship. So let's look at the facts here. He posted a picture of himself on Instagram, and one of his ex-girlfriends did 3 fire emojis, and then Darcey is like, who said that? Okay, yeah, nothing wrong with that. A better way to ask that is, honey, I know that you love me. I've been cheated on in the past, and so when I see something like that, it just triggers all these past traumas for me. There's nothing wrong with you in this instance, but if you could reassure me that you still love me and that that person isn't a threat, that would be nice. And if you maybe could tell me who that person is, that might help me too, to not be paranoid that you're cheating on me or something. Okay, you see that? That's me owning my feelings. That's not putting it on someone else. And there's nothing wrong with having those feelings. You are entitled to those feelings, and you communicate those, owning them and not accusing someone else. And then Georgie would say, oh, well, that's actually an ex-girlfriend of mine, and honey, I love you. That ex-girlfriend of mine, we broke up a long time ago, and yeah, we still follow each other on Instagram because it was an amicable breakup. And, you know, if you want me to, I could tell her that I'm with someone right now and that she shouldn't have, you know, those kinds of comments. She certainly can comment in ways that respect that I'm with you right now. But maybe she, you know, that's just how we talk to each other. She's just trying to be nice, but there's no threat there. And then Darcey's like, okay, thank you. When was the last time you saw her? Because this is also a little bit of a concern of mine. You don't have to answer this question because, you know, you deserve your privacy, but you could really help me out with my feelings if you could kind of give me a picture of how often you talk to her. And then Georgie says, no problem. I talked to her about a year ago. On the phone, it was just a friendly conversation. I have no feelings for her. She's with someone else now. She has no feelings for me. We, had a relationship. We both decided we're not a good match, and we're still friends. So, don't worry about it. I'm guessing I'll talk to her every now and then, but I don't have any real big desire to talk to her. Hence the fact I haven't talked to her in a year. So, what do you want, Darcey? What do you need to feel secure so that your traumas aren't triggered by her or anyone else in this matter? Okay, so you see that conversation. That conversation is taking ownership, it's compassionate, it's non-accusatory, it's reasonable. Let's see if they can do that.
It's making me feel like I can't trust him.
Okay, so it's not a feeling. I always say that to people. Let's go to the feeling. That's a thought. I can't trust him. It's not a feeling. What's the emotion? Almost always it's fear or pain. Those are two of the fundamental emotions in terms of emotion philosophy and research, is that you have these very baseline emotions: fear, anxiety, worrying about things, uncertainty, and then you have pain and discomfort and hurt feelings and these kinds of things. And we transform those into anger, frustration, irritable, annoyed. And then we transform those into thoughts. We're like, well, I don't feel like I can trust him. It begins with fear, like, oh crap, I just saw something that worries me, that maybe he still has a relationship with that woman, or that woman's going to infiltrate our relationship and snatch Georgie away from me. I am afraid that I'm going to lose Georgie. Well, now I'm kind of angry about this woman. Who is this woman? Or I'm angry at Georgie that he's still in contact. I don't think I can trust this guy, okay? So that's the full process in all likelihood. I'd have to ask Darcey. And it is very important to understand that. And as I always say, these shows provide us an opportunity to learn about ourselves. And this is where this comes in. I have no idea for Darcey, but I do know for everyone. I know for me. I know for all my clients. I know for everyone in my life that understanding that process, attachment, threat, and the emotion of fear or pain or hurt, and then transforming into anger, and then transforming into conclusions like, I don't think I can trust this guy. But I think all of us looking on would say, try. It's an ex-girlfriend. Who knows how long ago they broke up? He hasn't talked to her in a year, and she just did 3 fire emojis. Like, that is not a threat. That it has no indication that you can't trust Georgie. It's okay that you feel afraid, and you're entitled to that feeling. You're entitled to ask for reassurance, but to jump to a conclusion like, I don't think I can trust him, you need to have a more full understanding of your response and your reactivity to navigate the situation. But, maybe they'll do this way. Well, maybe Georgie will pick up on that. So this is what I always tell people is like, in most situations, only one person really needs to understand attachment for the relationship to go okay. Darcey in this moment isn't exhibiting that she understands. Now, maybe Georgie will. Maybe Georgie will say something like, maybe Darcey says something like, what's going on with this girl? Like, how you still talk to her? Accusation, I can't trust you, you've done something wrong, these kinds of things. And then Georgie might be like, whoa, what's happening? But he might do some calculation here and be like, oh, she must be worried that this woman's a threat. Darcey isn't saying that, but I'm picking up on that. And so I'll address that anxiety. I won't get defensive. And so let's see how they manage this.
It's basically to see how I'm doing, but that's just friends who are girls.
But you dated them.
I'm an attractive guy, many girls that like me, I don't know the attention, but I don't know why you're so obsessed about that.
I'm not obsessed about it, I'm just...
So right, you see that she is getting angry. You can see it in her face, it's in her voice, and she has real short things, basically accusing him of doing something wrong. Like, oh, so you're still in contact with those people? People used to date. And then he is now getting defensive. He's like, I don't know what the big deal is. It's just friends that are girls. And now they're starting to get into a space where they want to win the argument. Instead of going to the attachment threat, this doesn't bode well. And it's unfortunate to see, and a lot of people go here. There's a lot of jealousy that's normal in the world, and a lot of unawareness of attachment theory and how it affects people. So I don't know. Let's see how this goes.
Curious to know about your past because we have that connection, and I met my family. You're part of our world now, and I just don't want any surprises later.
All right. So she's saying, I don't want any surprises. Again, if we could take some more time, and she had more than one session with a therapist, because I think that's all she had. Remember early in the season, I was like, yeah, she went to therapy, and then I think she only went once. I don't know. Pandemic, maybe that got in the way of things. But anyway, so she says she just doesn't want any surprises, she's saying. Okay. Again, but that's the conclusion level. Below that is anger of like, what's going on here? Below that is fear of losing him. I'm speculating, she would have to confirm this, but that's almost always the case, by the way. And so to say, okay, right now I have this urge to ask him questions and for him to tell me everything that's going on. I want to know everyone he's talking to. Are there any other exes that you're talking to? Okay, what's going on here? What's my emotional state? Well, I think I feel frustrated. I think I feel anger. What else am I feeling? I know that anger is a secondary emotion usually, especially in social contexts, relationship contexts. What's below that? Well, Kirk says that it's, and research says that it's either fear or it's hurt. What am I feeling? I guess I'm probably feeling afraid. What am I afraid of? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to lose him. Is that rational right now? No, it's not rational. He's just texting with ex-girlfriends who are friends now. It's not a threat. So what's the path to making me feel not afraid? That our emotions guide us to action. A snake, a cobra, you turn a corner and there's a cobra. You feel anxiety, that informs you to run away from the cobra, okay? Someone is about to take your, purse, and you have an emotion of anger and hurt and fear. You fear you're going to lose the thing. You're hurt that someone would take something from you. You're angry. All those emotions inform you to grab your purse and call 911. When you have fear in this situation, what is it informing you? It's informing me that I don't feel secure in this relationship. I don't feel like he's 100% with me. And that's understandable given that you just started dating weeks ago. I don't even know if it's been that many weeks. Of course you don't trust him. You don't know him yet. So that's okay. And really, it's okay at any point in the relationship. It's common 30 years in to be like, I'm not really sure if this person loves me. It's a normal human thing. And I'm like, okay, so that's what's going on. That's what's happening for me right now. I'm afraid that he doesn't love me as much as I love him, or as much as he needs to love, or as much as he says he loves me. All right, so how do I solve that? Well, I ask him, do you love me? Are these people a threat? Cobra, fear, run. Someone grabbing my purse, fear, hurt, anger, grab my purse. Text on the thing, fear, do you love me? Not attack, not push someone away, not accuse someone of something that they haven't done. All right, well, that does it for that episode of Psychology in Seattle, in which we watched Darcey and Stacey, and I reacted to it and see what came out of my face. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I always read the comments because I'm curious what your thoughts are. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.